Normally, you would say, what an outstanding play, and I think seeing Manny work and as gifted as he is defensively, I don't want to say we expect that, but we almost expect that. When he's working, when he's moving, he's capable of making those plays. Good to see Haas work his feet and be able to handle that long hop. So there were a lot of good components to it. Obviously, Manny's got he's got special just kind of glove ability, and he's a really good accurate thrower, and so be able to do that going in the third base coaching box and be able to throw a one hop strike to Haas is it's impressive, and not many guys in the league can do.
Hi, Jayce. How close are you to naming an opening day starter?
No, probably a couple days away.
Okay, it's always a couple days away. I wanted to ask, this year it seems a little more maybe fluid in terms of your starting pitching, like who might be going when. There's obviously challenges regarding like what could happen to a guy on a daily basis. How do you prepare for the scenario where your starting pitcher isn't available that night? And do you think you're ready to cover it given the number of bullpen arms that you have?
I think the only way to prepare is have a lot of very good options and a lot of depth. I think that's, probably first and foremost, the best way to prepare for if we do lose a guy or two that we've got next man up type mentality and truly they're built up and ready to go.
Jayce, what kind of role might Ty France play, or a player like Ty France? I mean, it seems like this is the kind of season where a guy like that could be even more important than he might be over the a season where there's not COVID and health concerns and that.
He's been great. He's been able to play third. He's been able to play first. He even got behind the plate, for 2 innings a couple nights ago. Obviously, his bat is, his big carrying tool. And so, depending on what those at-bats look like, it's probably going to determine, his playing time ultimately. He's had good at-bats. I like him against lefties. I like him against righties. He's able to, get on base at a fairly high clip, or at least he's shown that. He's able to hit for power, hit the ball in the gaps. He's a tough at bat with 2 strikes. So he carries a lot of the offensive traits we like. And, depending on, his opportunity and taking advantage of it early, that's probably going to determine, how much consistent time he gets. I really don't know the exact ballpark guidelines, I should say. What we talked about earlier is thrown out. We were under the understanding that MLB was going to give us quite a bit of flexibility to play around things, what you like, what you don't. And so that's what we have been doing. We played around with different volumes. We played around with walk-up songs. We played around with music all game, played around with crowd noises. We've tried to change those crowd noises in big moments when we're at home, that the crowd noise is heightened. So we're still trying to get a feel for it. And of course you ask players and some guys like this, don't like this. Same thing with the coaching staff. When it gets too loud, we can't communicate. And so still trying to find the sweet spot on exactly what to do.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Jayce.
Next up, we'll go to Marty.
Hey, Jayce, this sounds like a kind of a dopey question, but do you want your players high-fiving, or is that against some of the COVID protocols that you're getting used to on a daily basis? And I ask this because last night after Pham's home run, Hosmer, he greets Machado and Pham with high fives. And that's such a normal moment in baseball and in sports. But I don't know if you're cringing when you go back and watch that moment, or if this is something you have to address with your players really on a daily basis.
Yeah, so I didn't see that. I fought myself sitting on the top step, not reaching out to high-five him. And so it's an awkward exchange. It's, they're coming in after a big 2-run homer, and, we're used to high-fiving and things like that. So, if the guys did do that, behind, those are things we have to address. Do we want to high-five? Yes. Can we high-five? No. So those are the things that we're still going through. In fact, today, before practice, we're going through, some protocols to touch up on some things. Some of the things we've reviewed, a big portion of it is going to be new to us because we're still trying to clarify it. There's a lot of just things that are different after a strike three. In the past, we would see the ball thrown around the horn to the infielders, and now, are we throwing that ball out? Does that go back to the pitcher? It's just, a lot of things that just we're used to. I went to make a pitching change the other night, and I can't grab the ball from the guy. So, I'm telling them, take the ball, go in, and, the catcher will bring out, or the umpire will throw a ball to the new pitcher coming in. So we're still trying to iron out the things that we've known as normal. And at the end of the day, we'll get used to it. They're not that big of adjustments. It's just going to take a little bit of time. And that's why it's good to play some of these games in our stadium here and try to simulate some of those things. So when the season starts, that maybe some of those things we'll be used to maybe a little bit more.
And for the NBA, for the players in the bubble, the league has like a snitch line. Do you plan to have something like that on the Padres, like an anonymous snitch line?
We are. I feel like our group of players, they're taking it serious. In fact, we've been having meetings, and some of the veterans and the leaders, are going to meet with our staff and players. They're putting in the protocols for what our expectations are, and it's not just us. MLB has set out very strict guidelines, and so the players wanted to even. I don't want to say make it more strict, but what I am saying is, some of the players had questions on, our wives, our family. We're on the road. Obviously, our wives, whether they're going to a store to go get groceries, to run errands, to do things. And, what are the protocols there? What happens when we're on the road and then we come back and, they've been somewhere outside of our bubble. So I'm very pleased with just the forward thinking that the players have addressed. And then more importantly, some of the guidelines they're putting in place, and then how they're going to hold each other accountable for these things. So I'm happy with the fact of the seriousness that they have taken it.
Thank you.